We were interested in looking at LabArchives for the fact that our teaching faculty wanted an easier way to do grading in the laboratory, but also a number of our students are going into pre-medical, so they get used to using electronic resources for recording data and other pieces of information. Also, a number of our research labs here on campus have already moved into electronic laboratory notebooks, and so we thought it would be a good way to integrate our teaching experience into what the students might be using in the labs here on campus. Some of the challenges that we were facing were in terms of grading. LabArchives provides the opportunity to do all that electronically. Our TAs no longer have to carry around 50 or 100 lab reports around campus or home, potentially losing reports along the way. So that was one of our major challenges in looking at LabArchives as a potential resource for using in our particular lab situation. Well, we had been using a different electronic notebook product prior to using LabArchives, and we were looking for something easier to use, and we were having a conversation, and one of my TAs actually overheard it and suggested we look at LabArchives. We did. We loved the setups, easy to use, and therefore we investigated and got it integrated into our laboratory program. LabArchives has given us the opportunity to follow the students' work as they progress through the various laboratory assignments. I can also use it to make sure that my TAs are doing their grading on time and providing adequate feedback to the students so they can adequately learn what's going on in the laboratory and make sure that they're prepared to do the next assignments. LabArchives provides a app for smartphones and iPads and the like, and our students really appreciate being able to upload their data directly using that particular app. From the TA's perspective, LabArchives provides them the opportunity to do the grading online. They no longer have to carry around large volumes of papers. And it makes it much more easy for the TAs to do the grading whenever they have a few minutes of additional time in their schedules. LabArchives allowed us to electronically cut and paste our materials from our previous electronic notebook. We also have been able to incorporate videos from iTunes U, as well as other materials from our online course management systems. LabArchives has allowed the students to become, I think, much more engaged in the process of what we're doing in the laboratory. They can directly enter information into their electronic notebooks. They can go back and review materials very quickly. We can provide more examples, live examples for them in the laboratory. So I think it's an added student engagement that we weren't able to do with hard copy printed notebooks that we used in the past. LabArchives has allowed us to do screen captures of our various instrumentation, so spectra from an IR or from the UV vis. So we're not printing out those materials in the way we used to and throwing away thousands of pages of paper. We no longer are buying paper by the cases as we did in the past, so we've actually seen a reduction in the costs for our laboratory program. I would most certainly recommend LabArchives for incorporation into your laboratory program. The help desk has been fantastic when we've had minor issues. They can often deal with them over the phone or via email. We did run into one more complex issue, and they were able to work on it and get back to us within a 24-hour period with a good resolution for that particular issue. We think LabArchives is the way to go for modern laboratory integration. Our students thoroughly like the program. It's one of the few programs where we've had student feedback who said, do not get rid of the LabArchives from the curriculum.